Western Missouri win. They were supposed to come down here, and they did. But when they got here, it was snowing. So they went home, which means we had to return the trip. Next year, they'll come down to us. But it allowed us to have another thing on the regional criteria when we get to the end of the year that you could check a box off, because it went on the road, went against a ranked team, went against a team above 500, all those different boxes that the committee looks at the end of the year. This would be another one. So we go up there, we're pretty thin pitching wise. We start Avery Jennings, who's a freshman from Rockbridge. First collegiate start, he throws up 5 zeros. And we're in the fifth at 0-0, having a really tight game. And go back and forth. We had some opportunities to score. We had bases loaded, nobody out. Ended up scoring 1 on that, and had some opportunities we didn't capitalize on really throughout the week. And we get to the sixth, and Riley Heron comes up, and we have really a lot of young kids on our team who are playing quite a bit from the schools in this room. Really, Riley Heron is a freshman from Kickapoo. Has started quite a bit in right field as well as DHing. You have Alex Austin, who's a sophomore from Glendale, who has 2-1, leading us in appearances, I believe, out of the pen, has 4 saves. Caleb Essig from Ozark, transferred from Missouri State last year, started every game in the leadoff spot in center field. And Clayton Ingles starting quite a bit right now. He's a freshman from Ozark. So a lot of local talent that's playing as freshmen, which is great to see. So Heron comes up. He works a deep count, which he's been working deep counts, just hasn't given the results he wants with 2 strikes, and he ends up hitting his first collegiate home run. Just a line drive shot. Just barely gets over the wall, but really got into it pretty good. So that puts us up 3-1 at that point, and then Clayton Eagle comes up and hits an 0-2 slider that just disappears over their scoreboard, which was fantastic to see. It was off the kid that we recruited that decided to go to UCM. Puts us up 4-1, a tremendous amount of energy in the dugout when 2 freshmen hit home runs when some of your upperclassmen are struggling a little bit at the plate for the game. We end up holding on late. Really, we have the game in hand. It's 6-3, I think, at one point. We replaced Dylan Bradshaw, who's a junior from Lebanon in right field. He's got a banged up knee, and put in a right fielder who gets great jumps, but he's one of our shorter kids. They hit a ball, man on second, I think second and third, and it should be the last out of the 8th inning, and he's backing up, misses it by probably 2 inches, hits the top of the wall, bounces about 100 feet straight back towards second base, and the guy gets an inside the park home run. Yep. So now it's a 1-run game. We have 4 outs to go. Alex Austin comes in the game, and we end up escaping there with those last 4 outs and getting a big win. So that was a great start to the week. Truman State came in for a Saturday, Sunday, looking at our phones like we all were all week to try to figure out when are we going to play. Do we need to push the game up? Do we need to push it back? Friday, we end up keeping everything the same and ended up working out just fine. So Colombo went. He won again. He's now 6-0, should be 7-0, leading the league in wins, in innings, in whip, I believe. He's just doing a fantastic job, and he's hitting 2-hole for us as well. We ended up winning that game 3-2. He didn't have his best stuff. He jammed his finger a couple weeks ago. He hasn't been able to throw one of his pitches, hasn't been able to throw his changeup the last 2 weeks just because of the feel of it on one of his fingers, so he's had to scrap that pitch. Left some balls elevated, but still pitched great. Gave up, I think, 1 earned run over the course of 8 innings and had the game-winning hit in the late innings with a base hit down the line. So Columbo's continued to be big for us. Game 2, Garrett Woods from Republic gets on the bump for us, and he goes complete game shutout. First shutout we've had all year. First shutout we've had in quite a while. So we were able to start the weekend 2-0 against Truman, trying to win that series in game 3. And Austin Sims, who's had some troubles on the mound, really was as good as he's been all year. Had some jams early and worked himself out throughout the entire game. Really should have won that game. This is the game we ended up losing to Truman. We lost 2-1. But left way too many runners on. I know you guys play 7-inning games all the time, but it's frustrating sometimes when we play 2 7s. It doesn't allow our better hitters to get up 4 times. I feel like if we can get Colombo, Bennis, and Perkins up 4 times a game, we're going to win most games we play. And in that game, you're only getting them up 3 times. So we ended up on the short end of that one by 2 runs. Ended up losing 3-1, I believe. And Sims ended up taking the loss. We had a tie game, top of 7, 2 outs, and then we walked the guy with 2 outs. He ends up scoring me. So walks will get you, and moved on to game 4. Guys answered back. Have a kid on the mound, a lefty against a Truman team that goes in their lineup left, right, and then 2 more lefties at the bottom end. So we think it's a great matchup with a lefty on the bump. And he got out of So we end up minimizing that damage. It's 2-0, and Christian Vonderheide, who's another kid who transferred from C of O for us. He's from Shumway, Illinois. Pitched great. We extend him a little bit. He'll start this next weekend against William Jewell, and did a fantastic job. Avery Jennings then came in relief. Alex Austin was down because he'd already pitched 3 times this week, so Alex Stillwell came in way throughout the game. Had a scary situation with Shane at short. They have a hit and run going. It's a pretty tight game. He's covering the base, goes directly to him, steps on second, throws, grabs his elbow. So Shane has to come out of the game. And at that point, we were down 1 run, I believe. I believe it was 6-5, and that's in the 6th or 7th inning. So we take our starting shortstop out, our kid with more RBIs than anyone on the team. He's got 9 home runs, kind of our leader. Sometimes you have teams that maybe shut down a little bit, and we're scared about what might happen. But we answered back, put Justin Abernathy at second. Colombo moves to short. We end up answering back with a couple big hits. Riley Heron gets a big hit with 2 outs. Justin Abernathy gets another big hit. We end up winning that game 10-7. But as we're sitting here, our team doctor comes on campus at 11, so I get the MASH report from our trainer while we're sitting here, and we have a torn rotator cuff and a kid that hasn't pitched but we thought would, a knee issue, a kid with athlete's foot, so I'm not sure if we have a mom or a trainer on our team, but Aaron takes good care of us. Bronchitis, tight forearm, so Monday's the day that we need to try to recover and get back, and normally throughout the week we can recover a little bit more, but we have SBU at SBU tomorrow, and they're playing really well. They have 21 wins already this year. I think they're 3rd in the MIAA, so they're doing a really good job. They swept Missouri Southern this past weekend, so and they beat us at our place a couple weeks ago. So looking forward to going up there. Not sure who's pitching. We'll figure out that on the bus, I guess, depending on how everyone's feeling. Who doesn't have bronchitis and athlete's foot, we can strap them on. Figure out where we go from there. So we have a 10 games stretch on the road. We played a lot of games at home. We have SBU Tuesday for a single, William Jewell for doubleheaders up there, and then we have go to Quincy. So right now in the standings, us, Quincy, and William Jewell are all tied at the top at 6-2 in conference, and I believe we're 19-8, somewhere right around there. So appreciate you having us, Jeff. Thanks for hosting us again, and thanks for coming.